Hey, welcome everyone. It's Rick. I just woke up. It's Monday evening, but I fell asleep. Got up around 6, and I'm thinking, oh man, I thought I was late for work. So here it is. I went and had dinner real quick, and now it's too early to go to bed. So I'm going to do another landscape for you. I'm going to lay it out with burnt umber. I'm trying to get you guys to subscribe to the channel. Do so. I got some cool ideas coming up this year. And if you want to learn how to do acrylic paint, this is a good channel to do that with. I try and do it the easiest way possible. Right now, I'm gonna try and sketch the an easy design up here for a landscape. Everybody's been out camping, right? You know what the woods look like. Let's just imagine we're out somewhere. I got some burnt umber here. Take about half burnt umber and half Mars black and mix those two together. You'll get a nice dark rich color here. And I'm going to use a fan blender brush that's made for oil or acrylic. The bristles are kind of stout and my brush is wet. Let's put the horizon up pretty high today. Maybe just above the middle. This would signify about where, the sun would set, if you were looking out at the horizon. And today I want to have some mountains in here in the front. Let's just put some mountain peaks here, just the top parts of them with your brush. And then I think I'll have this one in the middle come out front in front of those other ones, and then have this one come out in front of there. Let's just draw in some of the texture as well with your brush. Where you think maybe the snow would go, just lightly touch it with your brush like this. But now I also want to have some distant mountains in the back. Let's put a big one back here, coming down like this. We'll probably put these in a light gray color, and then we'll have one over here. Mountains that are further back. Let's make this one in the middle a little taller, so this one in the middle kind of stands out above those other ones there, just like that. We're going to paint over all this brown color. Now let's make a hill over here. Just take your brush and bring it down, and we'll put a hill over here, maybe coming in front of that one. And maybe these hills are going to kind of be coming like around like this. We'll take our brush and kind of signify that this is going to be a round hill like this. Okay. Maybe this one is going to swoop back. We'll put a few hills in here so we can kind of see what's going on. Maybe this will be water back here. So what we could do, we'll run this down like this. And we can put another hill over here. Let's put in as much as we can. So we'll have a hill here. We got this here. I did this the other day with a palette knife. You can also use your palette knife to design this. Now I'll probably sneak some water around here like this and make some kind of river. Coming from this water back here. Take your brush and lightly go across the water like this, so you know that that's going to be water. And we'll make this some kind of river. Let's make the edge a little less straight here by putting some land across here. I'll probably have some bushes on the edge of the river. Let's take our brush now. We'll put a few hills down here. Wet your brush a little if you want to get this paint to come out. We'll put a few hills down here like this. And then draw those hills back like this. I kind of want these to be like a hill going back up this way. Very good. And we'll flatten out here. So there's my sketch. I'm going to mix color today. I'm going to mix some color with 3 colors. And we got the sky up there. So you know, if you mix, I'm going to use ultramarine blue, cad yellow, medium, and some red. So I'm going to mix all the colors today out of 3 colors. There's my blue. You don't need much, just 16 by 20. There's my yellow. You mix those 2 together, you get a green. You know that. And I'm going to use Alzerian crimson. It's a red. So these are the 3 prime colors that you get in nature. That there's no color you can mix to get blue, no color to mix to get yellow or red. These are primary colors. Every other color in nature comes from those 3 colors by mixing them. So you could essentially paint all your paintings with those 3 colors, okay? But the companies make different colors already mixed for you, so it makes it easier on you. All right, let's get going. Basically, I got blue, yellow, and red, black, and white. This was burnt umber, brown with a little black in it to do the sketch. found this little knife here. It's actually good for mixing on a palette. Uh, so you don't make a big mess. So I'm going to mix a little gray for my mountains. Take some black here. I'm going to mix quite a bit of it because I need a lot of mountains back there. I'll start with a light gray. Let's start with a light gray. And I'm going to take a little bit of that. Just a little bit of that gray. Got my burnt umber is running. So I got water in there. And take a little blue, just a tad of blue, mix it into that gray. These are going to be for those, this is going to be for those distant mountains. Light blue. So today I'm going to use, for pretty much the whole painting, I'm going to get all this painted first with the underpaint using a number 8 filbert brush. See how it's kind of round on the top? I just grab some paint. My brush is kind of wet because it was sitting in the water, but that's okay. You have to wet your paint sometimes to get it to flow on the canvas. These distant mountains, I'm just going to keep light gray, just like that. Because they're way off in the distance, you're not going to see much color on those mountains back there. Once I get all this, I know this doesn't look like much, but it helps me out to see where I'm going with this picture. It's not the best sketch, but you're going to see here in a few minutes how it helps me out get all my colors down, okay? All right, there's some distant mountains back there. This is I just have a jug of water here. This is clean water. Always start with clean water with your paintings to rinse your brushes. Now let's add a little more blue. For these mountains up front, I want to darken it up a little more. I'm going to grab some black here and darken up this gray here. You can use your brush or you can use your knife. It's probably better to use the knife, but since I'm in a hurry, I don't want this to be in 3 hours long. Let's grab a little blue, mix into that gray. This is for the mountains up front now. Whoops, we want it to be a little darker and maybe have a hint of blue in it. I wish I could put some music on. If you guys are new to the channel, I have a couple bands on YouTube you can go check out. One's called Rick and Lisa Experience. We do a lot of cover tunes. And the other one's the Magnolia Steel Band, here from Seattle, Washington. All right, I'm going to put these mountains in front with this darker gray. So they stand out a little more, so I can put some snow up there. I'm going to draw it down just a little because I want to lighten up the bottom of the mountain. So what I'm going to do, right now, see, here's the water. I'm going to lighten this part here with some blue. Grab a little blue and a little bit of white. Make a like a light blue color. And let's put that at the bottom of our mountain. A little more white. Let it blend in with the gray at the bottom of the mountain. Real loose. Just put the paint in. This paint that I'm putting down right now is just going to be the basic colors of everything. And it doesn't have to be put in perfect, okay? I did the mountains like that because I wanted them to have their edges, okay? But now everything else can be kind of less perfect. Let's make some water right now. We'll just keep moving down. I'm going to lighten up some blue here, even a little more. And I want some light color back here under the mountain. Really light. This is going to be water here. Let's just block it in with color. Okay. Let's bring our water down now, the river, with the same color. Just kind of bring your brush down and run it down like it's going to be a river. Just get the color put in. Doesn't have to be perfect yet. Widen it out down here at the bottom. Just like this. Just get some color in there. Try and run this kind of horizontal here, like this, to make it look like water. There we go. Take a little bit of titanium white and let's lighten up the back part of this river on the top and on the top of this river down here. Just a little bit of white, real loosely. Just blend it into that blue to get some different tones in there. Real easy. You could even take a little titanium white way back here on the back of this water and lighten that up even some more back there. It's pretty light already, but there we go. Let me put my paintbrush down to make sure. Oh, man. Should zoom into this for you. There we go. So far, we got our mountains and the water. You see that? And I just kind of laid the paint in quickly, except for the mountaintops. I kind of made those look like nice and rugged and straight, okay? The rest of the color, I'm going to put all the rest of this color in kind of loosely now, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? When we start doing the actual bushes and stuff, then we'll worry about making things look like a painting. I want to concentrate on the colors right now of the painting. So I want to have this green coming this way. This, I think I'm going to make a dark mountain because I'm going to have the sun coming from here, lighten up these hills here. This I might have like in the shadow, and then I'll put maybe some trees up here. This down here, I'll maybe I'll make a beach down here. I'll put some like sandy color down here, make these like sand dunes or something. All right, here's the fun part now. You could either, if you want to just use green color, that's fine, but we're going to mix some green now. Let's do this. We're going to mix a bunch of green. We're going to use a lot of yellow. Put yellow right here. Now grab just a little bit of blue, ultramarine blue, and let's try and get a green color. I want to make a lot, and we're going to split it up. Some of it's going to be dark green, some of it's going to be light green, but make a whole bunch of the same color, the same green to start off with. This almost looks like an olive green so far. So if you have olive green, you can just squeeze that out if you want. But we're still going to lighten it up. I want the back of my paintings to be very light underneath the mountain over on this side. Very light, almost a grayish color back there. So for this back part here, let's take a little bit of the green now. Just a little bit, and we're going to add some white to it. Quite a bit of it. More than you think. Really get it like a light green. Okay. And let's, we'll put that in back here on this grass that's far away. Let me get my brush. This is going to be a light green patch back here. Very light. Let's put the next color in. Now we can start using our brush. Let's add a little yellow to that light green. And a little bit of this dark green to darken it up. We'll get a different type of green for the next section. Let's darken it up a little more. Rinse your brush off with water, then dry it off on a rag. Make sure you dry it off, and where these two greens come together, just lightly go across them, blend them together. Get a transition going there. You can almost, you can't really tell, can you? Yeah, it goes from light to darker. Now we're going to make even darker here. Let's add a little blue to a little bit of this dark green. Just a little. See that, how it darkens it up? Just a little bit of blue. Look at that. And we'll put a darker green right here. You can mix it in with that other green at the bottom so they kind of blend together. We're going to get darker as we come down with our green. This is our river coming down. And let's make this even a little darker. Just grab, you could either grab blue or you can grab brown now. I'm going to grab a little burnt umber and put it in there. So it almost looks like really grass with dirt underneath it, okay? And we'll use that color right next to the river. Has a little burnt umber in it. Real loose. Just put the color in like this. Blend those two together. Make a nice transition. See how it comes from light to dark down here? Very good. Let's use that dark color over on this hill here. Take some more of that green. We'll mix some more up. And we'll put just a touch of that burnt umber in there. Just a touch. And we're going to make this hill pretty dark. just fill it in with color down here. This is called blocking it in. Okay, we're going to block this hill in with this dark color. Just block it in. Down to the top of the river. Real easy, okay? There we go. We could bring this out a little more so it looks cool back here. All right, so we got a dark hill there because the sun's going to be hitting more over here. This will be in the shadow, okay? If you take your brush now and you can round some of the tops off to make it look like treetops up there. Use your brush and make some round indications like there's trees up there, okay? Just use the filbert brush, the round part of it, and just like that, and then pull this color back. So it looks like treetops up there. You see that? Make sure it's showing up. Yeah, it's showing up. Have you seen these new functions I got? I don't know if you can pop them, but no. They don't pop. I got some dancing lights. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's Monday evening. I took a nap and I got up and I'm thinking, because it was 6 o'clock and I go to work at 5 in the morning. I thought I was late for work. I was getting ready to text and tell them I'm running late, but then I found out it's still Monday evening. So, so there's I'm just putting in color. Let's keep rolling down here. We got a nice river coming down here. Maybe let's line up the side of the river here with some green bushes, I guess, with that dark green. Just put some color down here. I don't know what I'm going to do here yet. Just right on the edge of the river. Just pull a little green there, because if it's right by the water, it's going to be kind of green, right? But I want to kind of make this maybe a sandy beach down here. Let's make some cool yellow color down there. Yeah. Okay, let's take, you know how to make brown? I can't use this because it has black in it. It'll turn green. If I use this burnt umber and I put yellow in it, it's going to turn green. So I really can't use that. So I have to make my own brown. So take yellow and red. And let's make an orange. Make an orange. And then we'll take a little bit of black. And put it in there, and we'll make a brownish color. See it turning brown? Now let's grab a little bit of this. So now we got real brown. This is real brown. It shouldn't have any black in it. Now let's put a little yellow in that now. Let me wipe this blade off. Let's add some yellow. Actually, let's just add a little brown to this yellow, and we'll make burnt umber. See that? Look at that. We made our own burnt umber there. And we can darken it up some more if we want. Let's grab our brush. Grab your filbert brush. I'm doing the whole painting with this one brush, a number 8. And same thing back here in this section here. I want to take a little bit of that. Now let's put a little white in it, just to lighten it up back here on this section. Just block it in with that color. Let's grab some of this darker color for the middle section here. Just come up right next to the green. You can actually go over the green if you want. We'll put the next color in. Can blend these two where they meet to get a nice transition here. I hope I'm not in the way. A little lighter back here and we'll get darker. Now let's grab some of this dark brown we made and add it into there. Make it darker for this lower section. You could go over that green. We're going to redo those bushes. And just fill this in with the dark brown now down here. Just like that. Lock it in. So we're almost done with the underpaint. This is what I call it the underpaint. Let's try and blend those two together and get a transition. From light to dark, okay? That's what I was looking for. Sometimes when I paint my paintings, I don't do that all the time because I'm just kind of showing you the design I came up with. But it's good to do that. You want your distance to be light and have it get darker as you move forward. Same thing here. Light to dark. Unless you got something in the shadow like this, then you can leave that section dark. The bottom of the mountains, you usually want to lighten up this lower section because if you put trees down here, then it shows up better. That's why I put the white or the blue in the bottom of the mountain here, so it's lighter. You're basically thinking about the next color that you're going to put on. Okay? Because you want dark over light color. Alright, so check this out. Now if you can start designing a few hills in here. This dark color that I used down here, which is right here. Put a little bit on your brush and you can make some hills in here now with this dark color. I can kind of see one forming right there, and just pull back and create what would be some hills in there. You see that? Very subtle look, okay? Down here you would use white. Grab a little bit of titanium white on your brush, just the smallest amount, and we can add, watch, I'll do it this way. We could make a hill coming back like this with titanium white, and then just blend it in. Blend it into the top part of the brown. See how it looks like a hill now over here, and you can do it over here as well. Just get a little white on your the tip of your brush and pull the white down, and then blend it in. Just like that, to create different things in there, okay? Here we could take some green, put a little green on your brush, and we can put indications of some grass in here. Same way. Just pull it back here, a little green, and then blend it in. We'll get some patches of green grass in there if you want. It'd probably be better if you use dark green, like a dark green. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna put some white on the edge of my water. I'm gonna use a fan blender brush here. Make sure it's rinsed off. I know it's a little early to do this, but I want to get it going so you can see it. Always keep your brush straight on this water. Okay, and let's just edge the edge of the bank of the river with this white, keeping the brush straight. Lightly. Just lay the paint on the water. Don't blend it in. This I want it to like lay on the painting. If you blend it in like this, it'll look different. I want it to look like there's some water flowing in here. So this is just a light, I'm just touching it very lightly. And I call it white water. Okay. It helps make it look like there's water flowing down the river. I kind of did this a little early, but that's all right. It's good to do things out of order. I'll edge the back of the water back here right now, but it'll probably end up getting covered. Take some white on a knife and run it straight across the back there on that water. I'm kind of doing things out of order, but that way you can kind of see it's taking a little bit of shape, isn't it? Look at that, so far in like 30 minutes. Oh, we still got to do the sky. I forgot all about the sky. I'm like looking at all this going, wow, this looks great. So the sky, what we're going to do, the sky can be kind of tricky sometimes. I want to make some cool new cloud styles that I came up with, but I tried to do it earlier, but it just wouldn't work because it was on a small canvas. This is bigger, so it might work. It's where you wiggle the clouds like this and make streaks in it, like, and it looks cool. You see that? You do this, and you make streaks in there, and it's just a different style. I hope it looks good. So we got to mix some light blue, and then we'll put some gray in there. Take a little bit of the ultramarine blue with your brush. Let's just mix it next to the white here. I don't have much white left. I'll have to put some more down. But we'll get a light blue, real light. Make it really light. And even put a little gray in it. And let's just splash it up in the top part. Fill it in really heavy, okay? I don't have an underpaint, so we got to cover all that white up. Put it on real heavy. And you don't have to mix the paint very well. bring it down halfway to the mountains, because we got to lighten it up now down here. I got to put some more white down. I'm using Utrecht acrylic paint. It's really good. Now, my brush still has blue on it, but I'm going to grab some white, and I'm going to lighten up this part down here with titanium white. Just grab some white on your brush and fill in your sky. Bring it down to the mountains with titanium white, all the way down to the mountains. If you hit your mountains, I still have some gray here. I can fix the tops to make them look sharp again. Bring that white down. There's still blue on my brush, so it'll be like a light blue. Just like that. Now blend that white and blue together in the middle. Just get a nice blend on the sky now. Get it covered really good. I don't like when the white of the canvas shows through, so I'm trying to get it all covered up, okay? A lot of people put an undercoat on first before they get going, like a dark gray or burnt umber. And it really changes the color of the paint you put down. So if I put this blue on a dark gray, it would look different. But it's okay to paint on a white canvas. Now here's a trick. Let's try doing some of those clouds. Wet your brush just a little. Let's take some of this dark blue right out of the tube, and let's put a few streaks up here right now. You got the ones down here, make them really small. Small streaks, okay? You got to get them to kind of turn and stuff like that to make it look cool. We'll put small ones down here at the bottom, just like that. All right. Now, once you got a few of them up here, rinse your brush off. Rinse your brush off in the water, really good. Really good, okay? And I just grabbed a wet rag. And dry your brush off before this dries. And now come on top of those lines and blend them into the sky really quick, because it's going to dry fast. A very light blend. Just go over those streaks, okay? Very lightly. Try and get them to blend a little bit into the sky, just like that. The more you blend it, the further they'll look away, okay? Like maybe these ones down here. Now that's a different cloud that I've been working on, a different cloud style. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I'll mix a few white ones in there before I'm done. Doesn't that look wicked? Some of these should be bigger and some smaller, so it looks like it's got some perspective, okay? Let me fix my mountaintop here. All right, this is looking good. just a cool way to make clouds. And if you got a nice cool hand and you trust yourself, you can wiggle these really cool and make some cool designs in there. I kind of like was being very careful, but you get the idea. You see how cool that looks? I almost want to do my mountains with a brush today instead of a knife. If you use a brush, you'll get a different look. You'll get a look like this down here on your snow. And if you use a knife, you'll get more of this look where it lays on top of the paint. Yeah, let's do that because I want this to look more like an oil painting. I'm going to go ahead and use a brush today on the snow. I'll show you how I usually do it with a knife. But then I'll paint over it. So usually I just grab a knife and if you've never designed snow on your mountains, what I like to do is just put a little on each peak first and then look at it. So if I was using a knife, I would just get a small roll on there, okay? And I would start on the right side of my peak here and kind of just pull some color down on the top part. Then I'll do the next peak on the right side. And I would pull a little bit down first on each peak. And then I would look at it to see if I wanted to bring the mountains down even more with more snow. You could put more snow like this and turn this mountain this way, like this. And I would pull some snow down at the bottom like this. Create some hills down here. That's how I would do it with a knife. See that? You could do that same thing though with the brush, and it looks different though. Let me grab my brush. If you use the brush, you're going to get a different look. It's going to actually blend into the mountain, watch. It'll look more like that. Maybe let me go over it softly and see what it looks like with the brush. I don't usually do it this way, but maybe we'll get some different look in there. It'll make it maybe look softer up there on top. That looks kind of cool. You could do it that way. Put it up there first with a knife and then lightly blend it down with the brush. I like doing it like that. I'm drawing everything the same way because I'm trying to give the painting some style, you know. I'm trying to give it a certain look, like with the clouds and with the way these mountains are all drawing to the right. It's just what happens when you paint. I kind of like that. You guys are just watching a first right there. I've never blended over my knife work like this. It looks pretty good. I have put like white down at the bottom before with a wet brush. You just grab some white with a wet brush. Doesn't have to be too wet. And then you just lighten up. You lighten up everything at the bottom of your mountain like this. Just put some mist down there. It's going to end up looking like mist at the bottom of the mountain. See that? It's a good way to make your other mountains look further back too. You can put some light color. To draw those mountains further back. Look at that. Wow, you guys are just watching a new way of doing the mountains there for me. You got lucky. I kind of like that. Look. Let's put the blue on the other side. I'm going to put a little light blue here on this one and this one. I'll leave these two gray because they're further back. Now, when I do my shadow side of the mountain, you could either make it darker. This is pretty dark already, but sometimes a light blue looks good. Let's make a little light blue. Take some blue over here, add some white to it. A really light blue with a little bit of gray in it. Okay. We'll put some gray in it to dull it down. See that bluish color? It's almost like the sky. We'll take the small side of the blade. Now, don't cover your white up because the white, you got the edge there. Come up next to the white and just put a little bit of blue underneath it. Right next to the white. Draw it down the edge of that mountain. Try not to cover your white up. I made this mountain kind of small, so I got to use the small edge of my blade here. Let's just fill this mountain in with this shady blue color. You could put a little over here, a little here. Now at the very, very edge here, we need to draw some of this blue at the bottom here and bring the edge of the mountain out in front like this, okay? Maybe a little over here too, a little blue. We'll put a little blue on this one, just the edge, the side. Just like that. There we go. I'm going to leave those gray back there. Doesn't that look cool? That's the shadow side of the mountain. The sun's not quite getting around to it. You can darken this edge a little more where it comes in right next to the white. Make it a little darker. Alright, let's move on. The mountains are done. Those came out pretty good. I like the way I blended that in. This is looking pretty good. It's time for some distant trees out here. I'm going to leave that flat out there. I like the way this looks, so I'm going to put the trees maybe right here on this hill and bring them back this way. I'm going to use I'm going to use green right here, but I'm going to darken it up with some black. Just take a little black, put it in that green. Pretty dark, a little more black. Just make it dark. If it's too dark, we can lighten it up with when we highlight it. Let's put some trees right on the top of this hill here. Just first touch in and design your row first. Maybe like that. Now pull the bottom to the left a little, just a little, to create some shadow underneath there. All right, those can be small trees right there. If we want this to stay far away in the distance, which I kind of like. I kind of like that look. We could keep this a far away scene, and then we could put a big tree right up here in the front, in the foreground, like I did before. I'm not doing any evergreen trees because then someone will say it looks like Bob Ross. Those trees look cool. You see how I drew the color back a little underneath to create some shadows and some hills back there. Just like that. You can create some different hills in there. Let's run a row of trees in the back on the mountain with the same style. Very small back there. Just touch it with your fan blender brush. Load the paint up on there and just touch a row of trees above the water line, way in the back there. Really small, okay? We want them to look like they're far away, okay? You can draw some of the trees down the mountain like this if you want. Keep it really small. Follow the angle of the mountain, okay? Don't bring them up too high because trees, they don't grow a certain height after a certain elevation. That's why you don't see trees at a certain elevation. They won't survive. All right, there. I'm going to keep this a far away scene. I kind of like it. I want to keep it simple. This is looking pretty good. I like the river. This is where I would go fishing. If this was a lake up in the mountains, but I would fish down here. I would cast my rod in the water here and let it float down. Then I would catch some trout down here. I'm just trying to get the main design, and this is pretty good. I really like this. There's still a lot to do down here. More bushes and flowers, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it. I'm already at an hour. But you could take that, if you like that design and you've never painted before, give it a try. Let me see if I can show you a few more things in here. This is pretty dark down here already, so it'd be kind of hard to put bushes down here on this side of the river because I made it really dark. That's why I'm putting the trees on the lighter green up here. I'll tell you what I'm going to probably do. I'm going to probably run a nice dark tree up this side here and have it angle into the sky and put branches all up in here so it looks like we got a tall tree in the foreground here. But I could fix up all these bushes down here around the edge of the water. Just take your fan brush now and we'll design some cool bushes right on the water's edge here. You can basically put your bush in and then pull some of the color out like this. It's a little wet. Let me dab it on a rag. Just put some bush tops along the river here with your fan brush. Make them like different heights and stuff. Just like that. And take some of the color and pull it back into the brown. Like this. You can follow the contour of the ground. There we go. Got some bushes there. Maybe try and make them look like they're tiered. Like higher here as it goes up, okay? Look at that. See how I did that? Make this one a little higher than the one that's below it. Then it looks more like it's going off into the distance. And then just pull your color straight out. Just like that. Wow. Look at that scene. That's looking pretty good. What do you think about that? I filled up pretty much the whole painting. Look where I started my horizon, way up here. The mountains are like way up here. When you start your mountains down here, it's a lot easier, the painting. You don't have much landscape to work with, but look at all this landscape I had to put in. There's a lot of different ways to do it. If you're a beginner, I would start my horizon a little lower than halfway, so you don't have to deal with so much land down here. You'll get mostly sky, and you can just put some cool clouds up there. So basically, that's about it for now, because I'll finish this up. Like I said, I think I'm going to put a big tree over here. But I also have to tighten this up still, like right around my mountains. I got to get all that white covered up. Right around the edge. I still got a lot of work to do. I might try some different color clouds up there. I kind of like those clouds. Let's see what it looks like if I put a white one in there. You really got to get the brush a little wet. It's got to be a little wet, okay? And we'll put a few streakers up in here with white. It might not need white, but there's a few. Rinse your brush off. Rinse your brush off and then dry it, and then you just gotta kind of blend that cloud down just a little bit where you made the streaks. Just like that. I don't think it needs white ones, but it looks cool with the blue. All right, guys. I guess I could put a trunk in over here if you want to see how cool it looks. Let me see if anybody's on. Yeah, there's a few people on. So far this scene is like a far away scene, but I wanted to show you what happens when you put a large tree right in the front here, going all the way up. It makes it look cool. Maybe I can just show you on another painting. Yeah, here you go. So here's one that's similar. See how I put the big tree? That one's kind of big. I wouldn't make it that big, but you just put something in the foreground and everything else is far away. But I don't think I would do it that big on this one. But man, look at that. I'm glad I woke up. I was taking a nap earlier. Doesn't that look cool? Wow. I like how I made it really light back here. And then it gets darker as it comes forward. Same thing here, it's light, then it gets dark over here. Those are a different type of cloud I came up with. I kind of like those clouds. I just didn't design them very well, but you get the idea how this could look with those clouds. All right, guys, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. I think I'm going to end it here. I really like this one. Give it a try. Don't forget to subscribe. I wish I knew who was subscribing. It doesn't tell me who my subscribers are. But if you want me to subscribe, if you got a channel you want me to subscribe to, just let me know. I'll do it. I just can't tell who subscribes to the channel. It doesn't tell me. But I'm happy you guys are subscribing. Look at that. Time to dance. Get your brushes, man. Let's do some painting, and thanks for watching. Cheers.